Good morning everybody and welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade, and this is what we ate last week. So that's some sweet chilli salmon with some baby potatoes and some rabbit food. We're getting into the hotter weather now. This is where I struggle. Risotto, obviously. Steve likes his tomatoes and some purple sprout and broccoli as well. Cheese tater pie. Oh, he made it, finally. I've got nothing else to say. There's a full video on this. It's the best thing Steve cooks. It's absolutely amazing. Steve had a pucker pie to finish off what was left and some salt and pepper chips. Then he made some chicken, honey and soy chicken with some, vegetables things and rice. The kids like the chicken, but obviously not the vegetables. So Sunday, just cooking this piece of gammon. This tasted a bit weird, if you want the honest truth, guys. It tasted a little bit weird. Not off, just a little bit weird. And I can't put my finger on it. What it was exactly. But anywho, I'm going to just simmer this for as long as I like, really. Sticking some bay and some peppercorns as usual. So I've got some prawns. That's 2 bags of king prawns. Just taking the tails off. They're cooked. Couldn't remember which one I was using for which for a second. At this point I had the hits of the 80s banging away on I'll have to whisper her name because she's very touchy, Alexa. Anyway, so I sorted my prawns out, and then I chopped up some cooking bacon to go in the quiche, because they want a full roast this weekend. The weather is getting warm, then full roasts will stop soon. I know some people eat them all year round, but oh no, I couldn't cook a full roast dinner like that in the heat of summer. Not that we're in the heat of summer yet, but you know what I mean. So I find summer difficult. Let me know if any of you find a certain season difficult for cooking. I'm not a fan of rabbit food, so I especially find summer difficult. Steve loves everything salad, everything. So there's the bacon for the quiche. I'm just going to cut up these baby potatoes because we're all having baby potatoes as well. And no, I'm not making my own pastry. Can't be bothered. Yes, I can make pastry for anyone that's new. And my pastry is actually quite nice, my short crust. I'll have you know. Anyway, these have been washed, believe it or not. I'm just top and tailing them and cutting them into chunks, because I'm going to make just a quick rhubarb compote for the pudding that I'm having yesterday. So this is about 2 kilos altogether. The recipe does not call for that. I froze what was left, so I will put the proper recipe down below. So there it is. Huge pan full of rhubarb. There's only Amy in this house that don't like rhubarb. Although she tried one of the bars last night, a bit of one of the bars, and I think she liked it. So maybe we're having a bit of progress. There wasn't that much sugar in there compared to how much rhubarb there was. So all I've done is put that on the hob and it's just simmering away. I want half of it cooked down and half left in chunks. So it's just simmering away lightly. in the background. I'm not showing you it because it's a pan simmering. Basically, I'm just chopping what I need for the quiche. This will be a smoked bacon and sweet chilli chicken quiche. And it's having the onions in and tomatoes and the peppers. Shocking, I know. If I can pick them out, the kids can pick them out. And they did. But Steve likes them, so I decided to just chuck them in. The kids didn't even mind it was in there, they just picked it out. So we're in progress. So, finally defrosted. It was quite flaky, this, to be perfectly honest, when it was cooked. For short crust. So I just blind baked this as usual. Parchment paper on top. Baking beans. So yeah, do you suffer with any season? Is any season harder for you to find something to cook? Do you not like to eat a certain season's food? Maybe casseroles or stews or something like that? Let me know down in the comments. But me, my worst season is, I mean, I can't stand summer. I think most people that have been with me for a long time already know that I hate summer. Probably because I'm fat. Yeah, it's probably because I'm fat. I mean, I've always been fat. I mean, Mum said even when I was little, I hated summer. I don't know, it might be a fat thing, it might not. Anyway, can't stand summer, don't go outside. There's no wonder I've got a vitamin deficiency. But yeah, I do struggle in the summer with what to cook, what to wear, how many ways I can block the sun from touching me. I wonder if it could be that sad syndrome or whatever it's called. Because I'm alright with any other season, just not summer. Although I think that only applies to winter seasons, doesn't it? Not sure. Correct me, guys. Someone correct me in the comments. I don't know. But anyway, I've never been any different when it comes to summer, so. So, I'm using the big glass dish for my quiche, so I'm using my usual 5 eggs. When I do the small quiche, I use 3. And I use 1 carton of Elmley double cream. That'll be heavy cream in the United States. I always add a bit of parsley in there. Just whisk up them eggs and then pour in your cream. There we go. You can thin this down with a little bit of milk if you want to. I like a firm quiche. I don't like it not set, if that makes sense. And I couldn't believe it. After cooking this, I was looking in the cupboard. Couldn't find no honey. Gutted. That's probably what was wrong with it. Couldn't find it. I know I've got some, but I couldn't find it. This has been cooked. As you can see, there is still chunks. So the biggest pieces are still there, but the rest is stewed down. So I'm going to take out as much liquid as I can without breaking up them pieces still. And the remaining liquid, that's with the rhubarb. When I pour it back into the pan, I'm just going to add a tablespoon of corn flour to a tiny bit of water. Mix that up pour it in with the hot rhubarb, and that'll make it thicker and easier to go on our rhubarb bars. All that liquid. That would just turn your bars to stodge. Now you can reduce this syrup down because it's got sugar in it, and that'd be nice on top of some like vanilla ice cream or something. You can see it's already quite thick, but there is still liquid in there. That's why I did that step with corn flour. So pastry is done. Just going to take them out. Make sure they go into a container that's not going to melt. Yes, I speak from experience. Hashtag moments not thinking. I would like to thank the lovely people that keep sending me super thanks and buy me coffees. Thank you so much. It's not expected, but it is more than welcome. Yes, I do make a mess. A chunk goes on the floor. The dog waits for it to cool down. Although she's being naughty. She'd had a bad tummy the day before. She did not look at her look. I think she maybe got hold of something she shouldn't have. Pop some cheddar on the base, look. And then just fill it as you want to. So yes, this Sunday she did not get a Sunday dinner. No meat, no nothing. She had a bad stomach, so she got nothing. And she's not been having any... I can't say the word too loud because she'll hear me. For the last couple of days either. She's not a happy bunny. She's got a routine. When she gets out of her bed, she comes to me and stares at me until she gets her first treat. And then at night time after tea, when everyone's finished eating and she knows she's not getting out, she'll come to me for a second one. And then she'll eat her own food for the rest of the night. So she's been a bit confused as to why she's not got it. Bless her little heart. So just putting everything on. There goes the bacon. She's still down there, look. She's just waiting for it to cool down. And I can't do it about it at the minute because I've got my hands full. She needs an haircut. Look at her fringe. So funny. Steve's going to do it this week. She does not like that either. You'd think after all these years of getting groomed, she'd be like, whatever. But no. Don't like a bath. Don't like a shower. Don't like her hair done. She's quite the madam, my dog. But anyway, enough about my precious. I'm just putting on the sweet chilli chicken. It's already cooked. I asked him to get me some from supermarket when he went. This is not hot. And I did tell the girls it was going in, and they were alright with it. So they're starting to tolerate more different foods now, which is really good. I think we ate just under half of this yesterday. Steve will finish the rest of it between today and tomorrow. All on his own. If there's one thing that man likes or loves, it's a quiche. Chuck some more cheese on. As easy as that. Happy days. So now we're on the pudding. So I cooked the rhubarb specifically. I'm lying. I cooked it because it needed cooking or it'll go to waste. So some of it we got from in the shopping, and then some of it our lovely neighbour Alan fetched round for us. He's such a lovely guy. He became blind about 2 years ago, and I swear that man can get around better than I can. Anyway, the this is such a simple recipe and such an easy thing to make. So if you've got rhubarb, you want a way to use it up, this is a fantastic way to do it. There's not a lot that goes into this. That's it for the base, literally. There's flour, sugar, baking powder, 1 egg and some butter. And that is the base. I'll put the full recipe directions down below in the description box. So you're not looking to get it into a ball. I find these air fryer liners perfect for these pans I got. Got these off Amazon. There is a link in our Amazon storefront for these. They came as a pack of either 3 or 4, and absolutely amazing for these sort of things. Just press it in. Nice and firm. And then your compote, which should have cooled down a bit, you're going to put a thin layer on. A thin layer, but not thin that you don't taste it and know it's there. Well, we'll do after we've done the crisp on top. So it's giant oats, sugar and melted butter. That is it. Told you there was nothing difficult about this whatsoever. And I can't believe Amy tried it and liked it. So, here we go. Look, you can see I've thickened it up. Because what I don't want to do is just have it pooling with liquid. So I thickened it up. And what was left, I just stored in a container and put in the freezer. For whatever else I want it for. So I've melted the butter. I'm just going to mix it in now with the sugar and oats. This sets really well on top. It sort of holds everything together. Look at it and you think that there's no way there's enough there. There is. Let's just spread that out. So obviously, if you don't like rhubarb, you could stew some apples, some pears, whatever you want. Plums. But just thicken up that liquid. Drain as much as you can. Do the same process. Sweeten up your fruits. Cook them down a little. Thicken up the liquid that remains. And you're ready to go. You can have this as it is, with cream, with ice cream. And if you've reduced that sauce down, a bit of that nice warm sauce on ice cream with it, it'd be really nice. Whatever you want to serve it with. Caitlin had it just straight from the pan. And into the oven. That's it. Look at that. So easy. So the quiche is out. That's all sorted. And that is dinner for Sunday. There's the meat, quiche, prawns, and all the other little bits and bobs. That's what was left. And that's the crisp bars, rhubarb crisp bars. They're still hot at this point, so I had to wait for them to cool down. They're still a bit warm as well here, but we needed to cut it to show you. Now they've been in the fridge all night, they're well set. But this is while they're still warm. I wouldn't recommend cutting while they're still warm. Although it's still held together. Look at that. Yum yum. That base at the bottom. It's a cross between a biscuit and a little bit of cake. You got all that rhubarb. And the crisp on top. So there you go, guys. That recipe will be down below. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share if you can. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.